let's reassess the NFC West, because 2 weeks ago it was looking like, geez, the Niners might finish last in this division. It's so tough. Now they're 2-1. The Cardinals are 2-1. The Rams are 2-1, and the Seahawks are 3-0. Do you have different thoughts and feelings and expectations for the outcome of this division?
Okay. Yes. I want to start by saying this is by far the best division in football. What a hell of a division that you're covering. Mm-hmm. And if I were you and were covering that division, I'd be so excited. I would be, because every division game is a playoff game.
Yes, it is.
Every division game is a playoff game.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make a bold statement. I'm not saying the Niners will win the division. They could win the division. Ooh. I'm looking at those teams, and I'm looking at Seattle, and they're wonderful, and they got that great quarterback.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm saying the 49ers, what a roster, what a coaching staff, what a culture they built. They had a tough first game against a very good opponent. Yeah. Iggy, I think it's quite possible they're going to win that division. What do you think? I
think it's quite possible as well. I picked the Seahawks to win it at the beginning of the year, but their defense is way worse than I expected. They lost the only pass rusher they had, Bruce Irvin. He's out for the year with a torn ACL. Their defense stinks. And right now they're winning games because of one person, Russell Wilson. He's playing at like a Hall of Fame level every game, throwing 5 touchdown passes a game, and they're squeaking out wins. Yeah. How many more games in a row can he do that? Eventually, he probably is going to have a regular game, and they're going to lose. And what's interesting about the Niners is they're winning games with their backups, right? Not because one guy is going crazy. So actually, it's looking like the Niners are as strong as any team in the division. What's interesting is that the Rams are back. They are no longer dogs, as you would say. Not regular dogs, but dogs. It's different.
Is that how I say it? Dogs?
Yeah, dogs is not a reference to canines. It's a whole, it's underdogs. So
make fun of me.
I'm sorry. What were we talking about? I confused. No, okay. So the Rams, the Rams. No, they look like they're pretty good. They got a run game again, and Sean McVay seems like he is a pretty good coach. He's never had a losing season, and as long as you, he can't really adjust mid-game, but he has good game plans. So the Niners, they play them week 6. That'll be a really fun game.
I feel let's concentrate on Seattle because they're the top dog right now. They're the top dog. Okay, they're 3-0. The Niners have yet to play them. I think the Niners will at least split with them and maybe win 2 games. Ooh. I do, and I'll tell you why. I think Shanahan is going to be able to do very well against that defense, and I think the Niners off defense will do well against Russell. Now, I know we said they can't handle running quarterbacks.
That's what I was going to say. That they got to answer that. That's what they got to answer for. Anytime they play a team that has a quarterback who can run around, it's going to be a game. But that they still can win. I mean, they beat Russell Wilson in Seattle last year, so absolutely, that's fair.
Yeah, whether or not they could handle Wilson is the 800-pound gorilla, not the 800-pound dog in the room. It's the 800-pound gorilla. Having said that, I think they match up well with them. And I want to, can I say something? Yeah. I am not sold on that offensive coordinator. Is that Schottenheimer?
Little Shotty.
What's his first name? Brian?
Brian. Yeah.
He thought his father was a very Marty. He was.
What would Bill Walsh have thought of Marty Schottenheimer?
I'm sure he thought he was a numbskull.
Right.
He had no creativity. He had about 3 plays,
Yell at people.
He would yell at people. And he looked goofy. And I think the kid, like where Shanahan had a very creative dad, and he's even maybe gone beyond his dad.
He has.
This Schottenheimer didn't have a creative dad, and he hasn't gone beyond them. So a lot of times I'm thinking, run up the middle, 1.5 yards, boom, he does it. And then basically what he says is, I ran out of ideas. Russell, can you run around and make a pass?
Now, to be fair to little Schottenheimer, he's taken so much criticism in Seattle the last few years for just that he's changed his offensive philosophy this year, and they're throwing much more in the first half because there's some stat that the Seahawks are like 52-0 when they lead by more than 4 points at halftime since Russell Wilson got in the league. So they changed, like, maybe we should come out a little faster. Maybe we should try that. So their offense really actually is doing pretty well, not because of Schottenheimer. It's Schottenheimer is holding it back less this year is what's happening.
I got it. Anyway, I think that the Niners and the Seahawks are a very good match, and I don't give the advantage to the Seahawks. I think that the Niners and the Rams are a very good match. I give the advantage to the Niners because I think they're a better team. I think they have two better quarterbacks. No matter what that kid does down there, I've seen him louse up too many games. Jared Goff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I've seen him louse up too many games. I'm not sold on the defensive coordinator. Iggy, who's their defense coordinator?
The Rams?
Yeah.
Oh, it used to be Wade Phillips. They got rid of him and brought in a disciple of Vic Fangio who's doing pretty well so far.
Okay.
New guy.
All right.
New guy.
So maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't think the Rams run as well as the 49ers. I think the Niners are a better team. And although I have so much respect for the Cardinals, I don't see them beating the Niners twice.
Well, I think it's interesting that you talk about how boxing is like a sport of not matchups, but it is
matchups.
So with the Niners, I think the Niners match up very well with the Rams because they can make Jared Goff look like the bum that he is under pressure. Sorry, Jared. Yeah. The dog that he is under pressure. And then the Niners don't match up particularly well with the Cardinals because that one player, Kyler Murray, can run away from all their pass rushers. I think the Rams match up very well with the Cardinals because the Rams have a Hall of Fame level cornerback they can put on DeAndre Hopkins. And so I think the Niners match up well with the Rams match up well with the Cardinals, and the Cardinals match up well with the Niners. A little triangle going on there. Anyway, I don't know.
Matchups. I love matchups, and in boxing, it's everything. I'll give you an example. Ali beat Foreman. Foreman murdered Frazier.
Right.
Ali had all he was worth with Frazier.
Yep. That's it right there.
It's just matchups. Yeah. And when there's a boxing match, I always try to envision them in the ring, how they would approach each other. Like, for example, I always get Tyson was a wonderful heavyweight. Yeah. And there's a lot of guys he could have beaten. He beat Larry Holmes when he was very old. Yeah. But you put him against Foreman would knock him out in 2 rounds. He'd kill him.
Tyson couldn't get close enough. Tyson couldn't get close enough to do what he needed to do.
Right.
He tried to get underneath and just get punched down, just like he did to Frazier.
And Liston would have done the same to Tyson. A bad matchup for him.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. You're really good at visualizing how a fight's going to go. I remember my sophomore year of high school, the winter prom was the night that Tyson was going to fight Lennox Lewis. And I asked you, I wasn't going to watch the fight. I was dancing. And I said, Dad, who do you think's going to win? And you said, Lennox is going to stop him in a certain round. And I was like, that's a really specific thing to say. And we got to the bowling alley after the dance. And I remember looking and it had just shown stopped in the whatever round. I was like, wow, he got it. He really knows. So my dad's the real deal.
I had envisioned the fight.